Hi everyone, my name is Ashley and today I just wanted to sit down, chit chat, and get ready. I wanted to try this new makeup look. If you want to follow along with me and see how I got this look, then just keep on watching. So usually I start off with brows, so that's what I'm going to start with today. It seems like she just has like super straight thin eyebrows, so I'm just going to be using the Benefit Precisely My Brow pencil, and this is in the shade 3.5. I'm just going to start off at the tail and try to make it as straight as possible. Okay, I think I got a good amount of straightness, or at least that's the straightest that I feel like I can do it without looking kind of odd. But I do feel like I should go over with it with some maybe like black eyeshadow, because I feel like I just need it to be black and thin. So I'm just gonna take the darkest eyeshadow that I have and just kind of focus that on the outer edge more so. I feel like I'm so used to just doing my makeup the exact same way every single time and not venturing outside of my comfort zone. So since I had kind of a freer day today, I just wanted to, I don't know, I guess like venture off to new techniques and see what else is possible when doing my makeup. Life has just been so busy lately that I haven't been able to do my makeup just for fun. But I used to do it so much more when I was younger, and I honestly miss doing it. It just feels like I never have time to do so nowadays. Okay, now I'm going to go on with my base. I'm going to use the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. Usually I like to use 2 pumps. Just put this on my face. I put sunscreen underneath and I kind of hate how it peels. I feel like I need to get a new sunscreen because it has been affecting the way that I do my base. I think I'm just gonna go in with my typical base routine because the makeup look that I'm going for does seem relatively full coverage, so I'm just gonna do my base routine. So for foundation, I like to mix the Haus Labs foundation and the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation. For the Estee Lauder Double Wear foundation, I use the shade 3N2, and for Haus Labs, I use 260 Light Medium Cool. Since it is the summertime, I do feel like my foundation is just like a tad light for me. I think I put a bit too much, but this is how much I put of the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and then I'm running out of the Haus Labs, but that's how much I use. I'll mix the foundation on the back of my hand, and then I'll apply a thin layer onto my skin just to allow for some even application. And then I'll also make sure to apply some onto the neck area because I do kind of break out over here as well, but also just to make sure that the face matches the neck. Then I'll just take my beauty blender and pounce and blend accordingly. Now I'm going to go in with concealer. I religiously use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. I'm just going to put some that's pretty much my skin tone. I mean, since I am in the summertime right now, my skin does look a bit darker than what it normally is, but this is supposed to be my skin tone shade. But I also did get like a summer shade concealer, so I'm just going to kind of put that on the outer edges of my face. And then I'll kind of let this sit on my face for just a little bit, maybe for like a minute or two, so that the concealer can kind of just hopefully give us fuller coverage. So in the meantime, I'm just going to use the Benefit Brow Gel and just comb through my eyebrows. And then I'll also take that same concealer and I'll use a flat brush to just carve out my eyebrows to make sure that they are thin and structured. And then same thing, just kind of pouncing it into my skin and blending it out. I usually like to blend out the under eye area last because the longer that you let the cream product kind of sit on your skin, the fuller coverage it becomes and more likely to give you better coverage. I like to have a really bright under eye, so I'm gonna blend that area out last. Now I'm going in with yet again another concealer. This is in the shade that's lighter for me. It's supposed to be like a highlighting concealer, so I'm just gonna put this again underneath my eyes, on my nose, my philtrum, my chin, and my forehead. And again, just gonna let that kind of sit in for a little bit to get better coverage and then just blend it out. While I kind of let the concealer marinate for a little bit, this is the part where I actually like to get my powder set up. Usually right after I blend out my under eye, I like to set it immediately to prevent any sort of creasing. So I like to use the Huda Beauty loose setting powder, and I use it in the shade Banana Bread. Get some onto that cap right here. And then I like to use like a triangle puff. So I'm just gonna make sure that this is all set up for after I blend out my under eye. So now I'm going to take my beauty blender and blend out the areas that I want the least coverage to the areas that I want the most coverage. So usually I start off in my chin area, trying not to move the product too much, and then I move to my philtrum, and then I move to my forehead, nose, and then my under eyes. Usually when I do my under eye, I like to blend it out from the bottom and then move my way up to the top. I find that this method kind of gives me the brightest under eye possible. I kind of almost push the product like not into my eye, but I guess like into my lash line almost. Not into it, but like as close as possible to my lash line. Slowly bring it back down and then over the eyelids as well. Now that everything is blended, I'm going to immediately go in with my loose setting powder from Huda Beauty. I initially concentrated on the inner under eye area on both eyes to set that as soon as possible. And then I do over the eyelids as well, as that is one of the areas that are more prone to creasing. And then I move over to my smile lines. And then I kind of just do the whole face. I like to use the triangle puff on the whole face, as I feel like this definitely gives me the fullest amount of coverage, and it just kind of helps with that airbrushed look. Now I'm just gonna take like a tapered brush and just kind of concentrate this on any of the smaller areas that kind of need a little bit more setting, like stuff that I wasn't able to get with my sponge or with my triangle puff, kind of near the smile lines, in the crooks of my nose, my eyelids, and the concealer that I set around my eyebrows as well. Then I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and I'm going to set the whole face yet again. I'm really particular about the way that I set my face, but it makes my makeup last so freaking long. And then also not forgetting to set the neck area as well. For my bronzer, I'm gonna use my Benefit Hoola bronzer. Can you tell that I've been using this since I was in high school? So I'm just gonna do some nose contour, and then I think I'll also have to do the cheek contour, which I don't normally do. Usually I just do nose contour, but I think she got some bronzer on the outskirts of her face and chiseling her cheekbones. So that's what we're gonna do today. This makeup look definitely seems more warm. Like she uses a lot of browns, which I'm not really used to with my makeup. Like I feel like my makeup is so pink heavy and glitter heavy, but this one is more like matte and has more muted tones. And then I'm just gonna bring it up to my brow bone, as it seems like it is being used as like a transition shade into her eyeshadow. And then while I'm at it, I think I will also just kind of add a base layer of this brown, just kind of all over my eyelids as well, and then connect it over to my nose contour. I'm so not used to doing eyeshadow because I'm convinced that it doesn't look really that good on me, but I think I'm just not doing it right, which is why I feel like I need to have more time to just practice these makeup looks. I feel like it could look good if I just simply knew how to do it, but I really just don't. I feel like that's a good amount of that bronzer on the lids for now. If anything, I feel like I put too much. Now I'm just gonna take my little contour brush, and I know that this is a bronzer, but I'm just gonna apply it to the jawline, and then as well as a little bit above the hollows of my cheeks to kind of just bring my cheekbones higher and just blend it upwards. And then we're gonna put blush over top of that. I haven't done bronzer on my cheeks in so long, I kind of forgot how to do it. I feel like it just does not look very good on me, but apply some as well on my forehead. Okay, hopefully I feel like that's enough bronzer. Now I'm just gonna go in with this like rounded eyeshadow brush, and then I'm gonna take this color right here and just kind of put it closer to the lash line of my eye. Just gonna concentrate it closer to the lash line and then a little bit more on the outer third of my eye. And then I think I'm actually gonna bring it on the lower lash line as well. Not too much, but just kind of to add some balance to the weight of my eye. Okay, I don't want to add too much because I noticed that I do get a bit heavy-handed when it comes to eyeshadow, and then that's the reason why I end up hating it in the end. So I am just going to take a few more shades. I think I'm gonna go in with this small little brush right here, and then I'm gonna go in with maybe this warmer shade tap off the excess and just apply it to the outer third of my eye just to kind of add a little bit of warmth because we added that cool shade, and just to add just like a little bit more depth. But I think other than that, that should be good for the eyeshadow, I think. Then I'm just going to take like a clean fluffy brush and just blend everything together to make it more seamless and cohesive. Now I'm just going to add just a little bit of shimmer to my eyes, so I'm going to use the Anastasia highlight. This is the Glow Seeker highlighter in the shade Ethereal. Just going to kind of pack it on this loose brush, apply it to the inner third of my eye, but not too much because I noticed that this eyeshadow look isn't super glitter heavy, but also just to add a little bit of dimension as well, and then drag it onto the inner corner of the eye. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my eyeliner, but I'm actually gonna make my eyeliner a tad smaller than I would want it to be. I'm just gonna kind of do like the outline base of my eyeliner and then kind of smudge it out with some eyeshadow. I'm gonna kind of try to keep the wing relatively small because normally I like a big wing. And then I'm just gonna take my flat brush and then I'm going to use the darker shade right here and then just kind of try my best to smudge it out or make it look more diffused. Something that's just like not too perfect. Now I'm going to go in with a brown eyeliner. I never do this, but I'm going to try to do the inner corner eyeliner. Now I'm going to go in with the same rounded brush from earlier and just do a little bit of aiguiselle, but primarily focusing it on the inner corner, or like inner 2/3 rather, of the eye. I'm already like kind of not liking it because I feel like it just doesn't suit my face, but I don't know, how does it look so slay on her and not on me? I'm confused. Now I'm gonna take my ColorGram aiguiselle maker in 03 Real, and I'm just gonna add a little bit to the under eye, again focusing on those inner 2/3, but not too much because I don't want it too bright. Just enough to add some dimension. And then just gonna take the same Anastasia highlighter from earlier, and again just to add some dimension, just going over top that ColorGram. I feel like we need some blush. Let's do some blush. So her blush seems a bit more corally, but the only blush that I have is like Barbie pink. So we're just gonna have to make do, and I'm just gonna try to use a lighter hand with this. And it seems like the way that she does her blush placement is kind of on the outer edges of her face. So that's where we're gonna concentrate it. Usually I like to do like straight across, but we're just gonna do primarily on the apples. I feel like that should be good. I'm also not really noticing too much highlighter on her cheeks, but just for glow and dimension, just gonna do a light hand. And then it seems like she just does some on the nose bridge as well as the tip of the nose. Okay, honestly, I feel like this is kind of coming together now. So now I'm gonna go in with my mascara. I use the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara. Before I do that, I do need to tightline my waterline real quick. And then now just go in with my L'Oreal Telescopic. You know what? I feel like my eyes feel a bit too upturned, so I feel like I need to add a bit more dimension under here. I'm just gonna take whatever was left on this brush right here and just kind of add some to the outer third and kind of connect it with that eyeliner. And then, let's see. I'll take this flat brush and dip it into the darkest shade that I have. Tap everything off and kind of just concentrate it right on that outer edge of the eye. Kind of drag it down just a little bit. And then I'm going to take the same blending brush and just kind of blend it all out. Yeah, I definitely feel like that added more dimension, which is good. And then I believe she also does have lower lash mascara, which I haven't done in so long. Just going to apply to the lower lashes as well. Okay, so these are my lashes. I feel like I should put on some individual lashes, but I only brought my lash clusters, so I'm just gonna do some of that right now. I'm not gonna let you guys see my lash clusters because they look kind of... Okay, I'm just gonna show it to you. It just looks too insane. I'm just going to take one cluster and apply it to the outer edge. I'm just gonna try to do a more like foxy, I guess, kind of shape. Okay, so that's what I did for my eyes. I think it kind of looks the way that I wanted it to turn out. It's just that my lash glue obviously has to dry. And then once it dries, I'm gonna put on just another coat of mascara to just kind of blend everything all together. I think I'm also just gonna add a teensy bit of the mascara to the inner corner of my eyebrow, just to kind of give the illusion that it's straighter. Okay, now for lips, I'm gonna go in with my bronzer brush that I use for my nose contour and just kind of focus it on the philtrum area to kind of emulate larger lips in dimension. I don't know if that did anything or if that just gave me a stash shadow. But anyway, I'm gonna kind of go in with my brown eyeliner and just lightly line the outer edges of my lips. I've literally never used anything brown on my lips before. It's always like a peachy pink. Now I'm just going in with my typical lip liner and I'm just gonna focus it on the inner part of my lip, but I'm kind of just gonna let the brown do its thing. I do kind of feel like I added a bit too much pink, so I'm just gonna go back in with the brown to just kind of bring that color back in a little bit more. My lips have been so dry because I'm on Accutane. Wow, okay. This is so different for me because I feel like I don't ever really do a look like this, but it's for sure different and I kind of feel like I'm emulating like Wednesday Addams' mother. Regardless, it's fun, it's cute. It's new. I definitely feel like it's like a fall date night type of look. Anyway, that's it. If you have gotten this far, thank you for joining me. And I will see you guys in my next video, whatever that is and whenever that might be. So, okay, bye.